Hello everyone, my name is Hameed and welcome to my channel. I've been training for about 39 years and I just want to share my experiences, as I started on this journey so far, not even knowing what I was doing initially. It's something I just stumbled across when I was in Nigeria in boarding school in Federal School of Arts and Science. Shout out to the FSS crew in Suleja. And that was in the mid 80s. I just joined a group of guys that was training in the hostel. They had this bar, like a man-made bar. That was the equivalence of the Olympic bar. And then we had like bricks on each sides. And I'm not even sure if the bricks were the same weight, but we made it work. But what I'm trying to get out of that is that I just enjoyed it. I saw my body transform, even though I didn't know what I was doing. And then later on, I went to United Kingdom, and I had the opportunity to, train in a gym, and I just kind of loved it. Then it was it continued from maybe bad to worse because I remember all I was doing back then in YMCA, and that was in Leaning Broadway in West London. That was the first gym I ever went to. And I just know that all I was doing every day was just bicep curls. Bicep curls. I did not know you have to do shoulders, traps, hamstrings, quads, and, pectoralis. I didn't know any of those. All I know is bicep curls and probably chest, right? What I call vanity muscle right now, right? That's what it was back in the day. But I would like to share, basically what I've learned over the years. The things that have worked for me and things that did not, because, I made so many mistakes. But the thing that was absolutely common is I was just consistent in what I was doing. Even my diet was absolutely whack. I mean, as a young man, I go out, I drink, I smoke, I did all that thing, but I still go to the gym. Now, before I even move forward with this, I am not doing any editing because I've been procrastinating. So I'm going to give it to you all raw. I don't think that sounds right somehow. But you know what I'm saying, right? I don't have a script. I don't have jack. But I'm just going to, as it comes through, that's how I'm going to lay it down. So I'm going to talk about fitness itself. Some of us are certified gym rats, right? Meaning we love the gym environment. I love it. There's this adrenaline rush when I just open the doors into a gym. I'm sure there's a lot of us that feel like that. But not everybody's like that. My point is you can train anywhere. You can train in your house. You can make the stairs in your house to become your own elliptical machine. Elliptical, whatever, however you pronounce it. You know what I'm saying, right? So you can walk up and down. You can do so many things. You can go to the park. The whatever you don't want to do, you find excuses for it, right? So some of us love the gym and some of us don't. Oh my God, my mic is gone. No, hey God. God, can you imagine my mic went out. So hopefully I'm just going to continue this stuff. So yeah, some of us actually, I don't even know where the whole mic went up. But I'm just going to try and continue. Basically, some of us love the gym environment to train and some of us don't, but you have to improvise. You have to do something. What you don't want to do is not do anything, right? Even if it's walking. I mean, there's tons of videos. I mean, probably one of the things that kind of held me back, and that was I think that was the wrong mentality. Like, there's so many videos about fitness, but there's this African proverb that says, and if I just try to translate it literally, meaning as much as there's so many birds, right, in the sky, I don't think they collide. There's always room for them to fly. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to just do my thing, just the way it worked out for me, This is 39 years worth of experience. My birthday is coming in the next 2 weeks. So yes, I started when I was, I think, 19 or 20. So yeah, you can do the calculations. But anyway, we're going to talk about fitness, how you can train at home or you can train in the gym. We're going to talk about longevity, how you can. I mean, we're all going to get old, right? It's just a process, from cradle to grave, right? There's this process, the process. But how do we mitigate it? How do we slow it down? I mean, there's this term anti-aging. Okay, fine. You're gonna get there. But how do you mitigate? How do you slow it down? And we have this thing in the society about, when things are not going right, or maybe your body's aching, or you can't remember stuff, you have a brain fog. Everything is to do with age because you're at a certain age. I don't subscribe to that. I just believe you have to do things. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you see, there's a phone call coming in through, but I hope it doesn't stop my recording. You know, things are not going to be like in your 20s or 30s, but once you start getting to your 40s and 50s, you just have to readjust yourself, and continue doing the things. Maybe your diet, you have to change certain things. You have to know what works for you. That's why I feel like, what's it called? CGM. Is it control glucose? Control, no. Continuous glucose monitoring. It's just it's one of those wearables whereby you can just see in real time what your blood, the response of your food, as in the blood sugar levels. You can actually see it in real time. So if you eat something and it actually spikes your glucose level, and then you know what to do next time. I don't. Maybe you have to put more. What's it called? Whatever you have to do to bring it down, right? I wouldn't say that, hey, okay, because it spikes, then you should abandon that food, but maybe you should just put more, what's it called? Like maybe more fat, maybe more grain. I don't know, whatever you have to do. You just, as long as you have the data, maybe there's some things you can do to bring down the number, right? So because data is very vital, especially those are the advantage of us training at this time, as we have so much data around us, so we can use it to our advantage, right? So we're going to talk about ancestral living. What is it that we can learn from the way our ancestors lived? Because some of our ancestors, they were centenarians, right? They lived over 100 years. Even though that's a different time from now, right? Because everything is not the same, right? Over the years, the soil, the air, the light, everything has changed. The soil is probably not as fertile as it used to, or it's being enhanced with all sort of pesticides, all sort of fertilizers, all kinds of stuff that wasn't probably there, right? We're going to talk about nutrition. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to nutrition, but I'll just talk about the things that works for me gradually. And then we're going to talk about biohacking. What is biohacking? Basically, it's hacking the biology, hacking your own biology, right? Of course, there's the physicians, there's the doctors and everything, but there's things that you can do as well, to enhance, to intentionally enhance your performance, your diet, your physical being, your mental clarity and optimization. So there's a whole bunch of things. Basically, all in all is, yes, you're getting older, but that doesn't mean that everything should come to an end or decline. And even if it does decline, it's not going to disable you, if you know what I'm trying to say, right? You can live your best life, and like I said, regardless of what, it's not going to be. It's just like, let's even talk about your testosterone level. It's not going to be like oh my god. And that's an hormone, a very interesting hormone, like a sexual hormone, right? It's not going to be like in your 20s in comparison to when you're 60s or 50s or mid 40s. But the goal is mitigation and not just giving up on life, rather than saying that, okay, yes, you want to age gracefully, but are you just marking birthdays, right? Or you're just what are the right chosen words I'm looking the right choice of words I'm looking for? Like you're just existing, but you're not really living. You know what I'm saying? So for me, with all grace, I want to be a centenarian. You know, so those are the goals. And talking about centenarians, I was reading in a book, and I think it's called Ikigai, like Ikigai, written by a guy called I think it's Sector Vector. I can't actually remember, but now they talked about the blue zone. There's an area in the world. I think there's about five blue zones, whereby there's a lot of centenarians. Right? What is it that we can learn from them? Their diet. I remember reading in that book. It says that they eat like to be 70 to 80% full, and then they stop eating. I thought that was actually very interesting because some of us we don't leave the food until it's finished. Or just example, like you go to the buffet, right? You want to eat as much as you can, right? Because you paid X amount. But this set of people, they don't do that. Once they're about, that's another interesting thing. How do you know you're actually 70 or 80% full? So that's very interesting. It's a book that I actually recommend. If I can't get the name of the author right, I think he's Sector Garcia, and it's Ikigai, which means the reason to live. I think Ikigai is a Japanese word that's broken into is broken into two places. Like IKI means the reason, and then oh my god, KAI is to live. So the reason to live. One of the reasons why we might be able to live longer is that if you have a purpose, there's a reason for you to live. Of course, you're going to be excited to wake up rather than, you retire and there's absolutely nothing to look forward to than watching birds in them. There's nothing wrong in watching birds in the morning if that's what you choose to do. But you must have something that really, really excites you, to live longer. For me, yeah, oh my God, my thing has gone again. No, don't tell me. Oh my God, my mic has gone off again. I'm not sure how this recording is going to be, but anyways, oh my goodness. Yes, that's it. Hopefully, God dog it. Terrible. Terrible. Yeah.